Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of April 7th through the 11th. I will go over price targets on the 5-minute time frame, have a gap recap from March 31st through April 4th, and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is Nike. We ended the day at $57.25, up 3%. This is where we are. To the north side takes us back to resistance and a potential take profit area at roughly 59.82. Above that, 62.23. And should we be so lucky as to get to 4 standard deviations, that is roughly 64.39. Now to the south side, that will take us to the middle of the trend and the baseline and one level of support. We could go sideways or continue to follow this line down, and that is 54.90. Below that, at -2 standard deviations and another level of support and a potential buy-in area and also a potential stop loss area, 50.30. Below that, 48, and I don't think we'll get to this level, 45.59. I will definitely anticipate a bounce if we get this low. And this previous week has been horrendous. We have bled out like crazy, reached new lows, and hopefully this week we will see more green across the board. Fingers crossed. Now, as you can see, we're still going down on the 5. The different time frames will give you different buy and sell signals. Looking left, this gap is still in play to the upside. That will take us to 71.48. And this gap, when we went down, will now fill to the upside whenever we reverse course, and that will take us to roughly $65. I'm just double checking my magnet here. And this gap opened and closed. We went down. This is another buying opportunity, and we went up. You could have sold out right there at the middle of the trend, and now we're going sideways. And then we have other gaps to deal with to the upside, but we are not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Next one. I'm going to blaze through these now. Rivn, we ended the week at 11.21, down 2.78%. To the north side takes us to roughly 11.47. And above that, 11.74. We are right here. And below that, at the middle of the trend, takes us back to an area we've been previously. I will mark that out and then delete this line in a moment. 10.21, 9.96, 9.69. I don't think we'll get to that level. And looking left, this gap that we anticipated closed right there on April 3rd, Thursday, taking us down to 11.62. No longer in play. And this gap is now going to, let me, do one thing, extend it out. Again, all I'm doing is looking at this period to this period, and that's a swing trade here, taking us to roughly 11.51. Option R to reset this. And did that touch? I don't think it did. Let me make it bigger to see. Yeah, it appeared it touched, but when you stretch it out, no. No cigar. So this is still in play. We almost hit it, and then we bled out. 13.53, whenever we should reverse course. This will take us to, on the long side, 1247. That one's 1151. And then these yellow lines are lines we've hit previously in 2024. And note the bounce here off of this line that was drawn at 1037, one level of support, and then we went up, and that's resistance, fell back down. Oh, here, I've got a gap. Here's an opportunity gap. If you have faith and you believe in this ticker, that will take us to roughly 1326. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Something to be aware of. All right, that is it for Rivn, and still on a downward channel on the 5. RSI going down, it appears. But it may go down even more to go back up again. Unilever, finally, we started rocking and rolling and then gave it back. All right, first your price targets. Oh, wait, one other thing I wanted to do with the previous ticker. Let's see if I can, Rivn. Oh, so what I want to do is delete, where did I draw? Oh, down here. I'm going to delete this line because it's so close to the previous one. And that line I drew out on for Monday, March 17th. That was the middle of the trend. And what did we do? Look at this huge move. We went from here, basically all the way up here, to go back down again here, and then run up. So I will delete that. I don't need these lines. It's just fun to go back in time and see where we were. Okay, now I've, lost track of where I am. Let's start with price targets to the upside. And if I gave it to you already, I'll give it to you again. So here we are, a 61.72, 63.91, 64.99, 66.04. To the south side, 59.76. Oh wait, that's the middle. That's the box there. That would be 59.60, 58.53, and roughly to an area we've been before, 57.51-ish. All right, let's take a look at one gap at a time. This one, let's go with this one. All right, this was from when, oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, that's really taking us back. I'll show you this on the daily, I should say. Now what the heck happened? Let's just delete that. See, okay. I don't know where the heck. Oh, that's because I extended that and then this thing. Okay, so this ended, touched right here to the upside at 62.30. Then we have this gap that touched, oh, right there on Friday. So that was an anticipated move. That was on Wednesday, so we went up, and on Friday we closed it out. So that took us down to 59.92. So that's done, and we have this gap that touched right there on Thursday the 3rd, taking us to 60.26. And then there was good news, and I think it had to do with something about, you can tap this to find out. what was it? Oh, this, on that day, I remember reading this and it ran. And their deodorant portfolio represents growth opportunity in Asian markets. Was it because they stink or something and they don't have it? I don't get it. So they anticipate that to happen. And so I think combination of good news, it ran. Now, I really don't believe that. I'm just saying that. It's just funny. But it's not as if they sold the deodorants. The news just made it ran, which is silly. It's not money in the bank, basically. Okay, so we have gaps to the south side that are still in play. All right. Make this bigger and stretch this out. I should have sold here, but I didn't. I wasn't paying attention because I was busy. All right. Oh, let me show you where this gap closed at 62.26-ish on the daily. As you can see, I've tracked this many times. I also own it. 62, this gap. Oh my goodness. Can I even? Right, oh yep, right there. $62.28 is this one. Wait, why do I see? Oh no, it's this one. And that opened on October 30th of 2024, and we just closed it on Friday, April 4th. Wow, took that long. So let me delete that, 62.28-ish. And then this one closed as well. And that one. And that one touched. Yeah, I have not gone through to clean this ticker. Oops. Up. In a very long time. Anywhere I see a price label, I know that eventually I need to clean it up. That either a gap closed to the upside. Okay, then I have another one here that I will extend. This one has not, oops. Gosh darn it. I have to grab it at a specific 62. Oh, look at this. I did it twice. I'll just delete this one. Delete. So this gap. Oh, no. Oh, it did touch right there. So that opened up on roughly Monday, October the 21st of 2024. And that closed on Thursday, April 3rd. So congrats. Delete. And then we have a few more here. See how it pays off to look at this in the big picture? And then we have this one. And this one. We have 3 gaps to the upside. And that will take us to 64.89. That's on the daily, but that is a ways off. I give it to you on the 5 for daily price action. Right here is where you can see I marked it out. Okay, now I've got to blaze through the next one. Neo. You can see. Oops, look. Oh, I deleted this. Where is my red, white, and blue, my standard deviations there? I accidentally erased it. What the heck? Red, white. I'm just doing Command Z. Wow. I really... Huh, interesting. I accidentally deleted it. Still gone. This is all you do. If you don't know what the heck you've done, and I'll go through and fix all of these later. Oh my goodness. It is not cooperating. Okay, so scratch that. Let's just go to Neo, and I'm going to put, it's red, white, and blue, but option, oh, what I meant. Boy, I'm really messing this up. Okay, let's go back. And I'm only going to give you, basically all day long, the deviations that price stays in is typically -2 and 2, and everything else is obviously outside of 2, an outlier and a clear buy and sell signal, as well as the 2 standard deviations or -2. So from here, I'm going to do this very quickly and just give you 2 and 3 standard deviations out. Okay, that is 357, 365. This gap closes out at roughly 374. To the south side, 340, 324, and 315. Note the bounce here at support. That's also a stop loss area, don't forget. This gap still in play to the upside. That will take us to roughly 379. And this gap closed out of the gate on Monday right there. So that is done. To the south side, delete. And this one touched up here. Let me clean that up. Closed on the 1st. Gotta grab that right at a specific spot. Oops. Delete. And we have this gap that went down. So then we closed it right there. Do you see that? Once you see a gap, you cannot unsee it. We gap down, so we filled to the upside, so that's done. And then this gap, oh, that touched way over here, taking us down to 395. Delete. It's upper box, delete. And 379, did that touch? Oh yeah, that touched too. So let me delete that and that, no longer in play. 395 touched, yep. Yeah, it's been a while since I went that far back. 370. Okay. The next one, Estee Lauder. 52.93, down 9%. Wow. 2 standard deviations, 57.83, and should we be so lucky to get here, 60.48. 52.32, 47.08, and 44.46. This gap is now in play, taking us to roughly 58.12, and this gap also opened up. That will take us to roughly 68.58. Note the downward channel we are still in. And then this tiny gap, which sometimes I shouldn't even bother to mark out, but as you can see, it did touch right there. But note this gap, we gapped up, we should fill it to the downside, and we did. So that's filled right there, taking us to 66.60. And then again, I extend these gaps. I have no idea where they're going to touch, and this one touched out of the gate, taking us down to $65 roughly, and that opened up on Friday, March the 14th. Delete, delete. Okay. These moves have closed out, these anticipated moves. And note the downward channel still for Estee Lauder. I did do some shopping last week, but I do need to do more. Big time. Okay, 136.59 is where we ended for Boeing. 146.41 and roughly 151.50. That gap closes to the upside at roughly, you have to be one slight tick over there. Okay, done. And this gap closed to the downside right there, taking us to roughly 162.17. And, oh, I said 15. It's okay. And then this gap is still in play. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Okay, that's enough for Boeing. Let's go Tesla. 772 down 9.81%. This is the one that I definitely need to buy. 796, 850, 875. This one closed to the downside at 807. Opened up on Monday, March 24th. Note the downward channel. Bounce at support, support, going sideways. This will be resistance as well. What was that? 743, and I said, and 717. All right, SoFi, next one. 957. Then we've got 1049. This gap closes at roughly 1062 and 1104. 942, 837, and 783. Note the clear bounce at support, and now we are at resistance. We busted through. That turns into support if we fall through that. This is still in play, moving away from it, however, and this one is still in play as well. And don't forget that one. Oh, and this closed out. Let's clean that up. Again, I have no idea where they extend. I just move it along and clean it up later. All right, option R. Ignore all the horizontal lines. Excuse me. Oh, last one. 1985 down 11.5%, middle of the trend. Takes us to an area we've been to before, so I will delete that one in a second. That is 2039, 2142, 2193, 1936, and another level of support and a potential stop loss area, 1886. And the middle of the trend here is, well, it's right here, and then 1241 is where? This line, and that opened up on, let me move this out of the way. It opened up on Friday. Not opened up, excuse me. That's when we hit this level previously that I marked out. All right. So 1914 going to be a target, and that could definitely hit on Monday. Okay, and oh, what? Oops. This one, touch to the downside in 1991, no longer in play. Let me see if I can get the cursor to cooperate. This one, wow, this one also closed right there at 2073. So the next one is 1914. And I'm not sure about anything else below that. I'll have to look in a bigger time frame, see if I can spot any. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at your gap and go trades for April 7th through the 11th. Hopefully things will turn around, that the bleeding stops, or just rip off the Band-Aid, close out these other ones, and then go back up again. But I know that we will not stay down this low forever. That just is not reality. Things will move around, turn around before you know it, and then you will have missed the dip as well. But still bleeding to do. Take a look at the time frames. Oh, look, there it is. That's where my thingy went. Huh. Take a look at the different time frames on the monthly, weekly, daily. All right, that does it for me. Have a great and profitable trading week.